With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Performance Motorsports Truck Series fires things off for round number 8 in the 10-week regular season. Drivers going to put their skills to the test on the west side of things tonight here from Auto Club Speedway. 100 laps around this 2-mile D-shaped oval nestled just along the coast in Fontana. It's going to be one crazy bit of a night. We'll see if we can get yet another repeat winner. Only last week's race winner, Carter Casey, has been able to visit victory lane 2 times so far this season. Will we see another repeat winner tonight or a fresh face back in victory lane? How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV Land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, the Airs Eye Racing Paints Pole Award session already underway. Drivers laying down those fast times, and we're going to drop them over there to the left-hand side of your screen in just a moment. 67-degree track temperature here tonight. Nice, cool night for all the fans beginning to fill the stands for the California Dreamin' 200. But first, who's going to snatch the pole award here tonight, sitting top of the speed charts? Quick time here in qualifying belongs to the number 15 Chevy Silverado of John McMillan Jr., a 40 42, and just like that, he's going to get dethroned from the top. Jarrett Lipstruer goes top of the speed charts, and as the music fades out, time it ticks out of that hourglass. Only 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying, and Jarrett Lipstruer now your Ayers iRacing Paints pole center for the moment, a 40-41. Now the fast time, John McMillan Jr. back to second. Bump down into third, Darren Clement. Todd Cray rounds out your top five. John Wimbish with a solid week last week at Talladega Super Speedway rolls into tonight, unloads quick and happy hour, and he sits 10th. On the speed charts for the time being. Handful of drivers still yet to put in their qualifying times. We've got over 30 trucks in the field here tonight. There's going to be a lot of action here at this 2-mile oval, and now the final 45 seconds remaining. Does anybody have the speed to take Jarrett Lipstruer out of that provisional pole position? We're going to find out here in just, well, I can't even say a moment. It's going to be a little quicker than that. Looks like Ben Miller, Cody Lipstruer, Larry Poling, Willie Nelson, all yet to put in their time lapse, and it looks like none of those drivers are going to be able to do it. But the man that gets it done, he's been to victory lane one time so far this season, and he's going to lay down the fastest time of them all, 40-35. Now the provisional pole, and with 5 seconds remaining, that's going to do it, and David Durant will take your Ayers iRacing Paints pole award here tonight from Auto Club Speedway. So with that being said, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Head trackside for your starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we bring you back trackside after the flyover, and drivers make their way through pre-race inspection, getting set to hit the starting grid for tonight's 100th lap. California Dreamin' brought to you by the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Let's get some official business out of the way before we kick things off here tonight. Coming in to tonight's race, there you can see your point standings. Your top 6, 7 drivers locked in on points. They will have the opportunity to chase after that season championship. In just a few short weeks, we'll begin that journey. But first, we got to finish things off here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Want to clue in, though. Want to look around that 14th position. Jared Limster coming into tonight's race, sitting in 14th, just 6 points to the good of that bubble and cutoff line. Daniel Krim only 4 points in front, with Brian Hitz being that bubble driver. He's got guys right behind him. Gary Wells, Stephen Ayers Jr. right there with an opportunity, with a handful of good races in these final 2 weeks. They could find themselves inside of that top 16 and racing for a championship. We'll look at it more when we hit Kansas Speedway next week. But you even got Shane Bliss, Larry Poling right there with an opportunity, with a good race tonight and next week at Kansas, to work their way into that top 16. So with your point standings out of the way, drivers set to get underway, let's get closer to the track. Majority of the drivers already in the trucks, and we are ready to roll off of the starting grid here tonight. As you hear the music in the background, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup. The California Dreamin' 200 starting inside row number 1, your Ayers Eye Racing Paints pole sitter. Behind the wheel of his Chevy Silverado, the 24 of David Duran Jr. Jarrett Limster will start just to his outside in row number 2, the 15 of John McMillan Jr., followed by the 32 of Darren Clement. Bailey Dutton, Tommy Haynes in row 3, row number 4 here tonight. The fast 21 of Todd Cray with the 72 of Jerry Cochran III. Daniel Krim, Carter Casey round out your top 10. Harrison Mitchell and Hunter Collier back in row 6. Row number 7 for the California Dreamin' 200, John Wimbish and Nick Hunt. Dalton Fredericks, Gary May back in row 8. Row number 9, Gary Wells and Casey Duncan. Mike Rominger and John McMillan Sr. Finish out your top 20. Your final 10 spots in the running order look a little something like this. Look out for that number 6 trying to work his way up through the field from a 28 starting position. Large field of trucks ready to get it on here tonight, so as they make their way off of turn 4 for the first time, pace car in, music will fade, and we will go green flag racing here at Auto Club Speedway. A lot of pushing and shoving on the start. Keeping it out front is David Duran Jr. down on the bottom of the racetrack. John McMillan Jr. 2-3 wide, but Bailey Dutton on the bottom. Very wide, and caution flies as the 38 of Hunter Collier goes around in the rear of the field. A little bit of contact, a little bit of trouble early here tonight on lap number 1. Let's go check the sim box replay. Collier loose from about that 10th position. He's going to go around. We're going to take one more look at it here. Didn't seem to be much contact or any significant contact to really worry about. Let's take a look one more time. A little bit of a wiggle, and there it is. Just loses the back end of that peak. minimal contact. Doesn't seem to have put the truck in too much of harm's way. So just like that, we're back behind the pace car, back out front with your race leader behind the wheel of that 24 machine. David Duran Jr. will lead him across the line to lead his second lap here tonight under caution. Looking down at the entry of pit road, and it does appear that we have a handful of takers here tonight. Gary Wells, Casey Duncan, Mike Rominger, Lee Campbell, Miles Daly, and Hunter Collier. All to pit road, so 6 drivers going to use this early opportunity to work themselves a little bit off strategy. And here at Auto Club, we've seen the long green flag runs at Auto Club. We've seen those long green flag runs turn into fuel mileage races. We seen last week in the Swift Motorsports Cup Series race at Talladega. We've seen that turn into a bit of a fuel mileage race, so we'll see how it goes here tonight. We'll see if there's any chance for these drivers to stretch the fuel and get off strategy. We got to get back underway, though. Quick caution here tonight. Drivers' nerves going to be on edge. Going to have to re-rack them, restack them, and restart them. Back across the line this time, and the boss man in the flag stand gonna give him the one finger wave. Our good friend Joshua Norwood behind that iRacing pace car here tonight. He's gonna get a little feel for the banking, a little feel for the track as he moves these drivers back to the green flag. Front row a little bit different for the restart. John McMillan Jr. able to pick up that one position from third into second. As he start to the inside as David Durant takes the top. Hunter Collier working his way off of pit road, getting back up to speed. He's going to catch up to the tail end of this field as they enter 3 and 4. Ready to drop the hammer once again. Here in California, 200. For the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, brought to you by Ayers iRacing, Paints and Swift Motorsports. Out of turn 4. And away we go. Green flag flies. Once again, here from Auto Club Speedway. Off to a good start on the top side is David Duran Jr., John McMillan. Easily, but only for a moment. Darren Clement looked to have enough speed. And that make things work. Put himself into second. He's going to fall back in second. Line back with Todd Gray for 5th. They're going to sort things out off of turn number 2. Double file racing into 3. Todd Gray and Tommy Haynes going at it for position. Todd Gray single file out of 4. outside wall off of turn number 2. Your top 4 drivers all running that high side, all keeping that momentum wound up, trying to keep the RPM as high as they possibly can. And how about the 17 of Tommy Hayes? He's going to put it to the extreme high side, and he's going to pick up a position over that 99 of Jared Lipstruer, who has dropped 3 spots now. Position away from Darren Clement as well, who falls back to 4th. Two, 3 wide halfway down the back stretch. Drivers battling right behind Darren Clement, Todd Gray, Jared Lipstruer, Daniel Krim going at it. We're going to go 2 rows deep of 3 wide racing. A lot of positions on the line. John McMillan Jr. looks to the inside of Tommy Haynes, who seems to be shot out of a cannon. As we cross the line for lap number 8, let's drop that time. Over there to the left-hand side of your screen, let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Big move to the bottom of the racetrack by Carter Casey. He's going to drop all the way from that outside wall to the low line halfway down the back stretch. We're going to keep on running down. Richard Collier able to get by Bailey Dutton for 27th. Willie Nelson getting by Larry Poling for 32nd. Position still up for grabs all through this field. Tell you what, let's jump around a little bit, bring you some of the action from all over this 2-mile D-shaped. Over there, you can see heavily contested positions. Daniel Prim, Carter Casey, Dalton Fredericks, John Wimbish, all knotted up here. Wimbish looking for a good finish to secure his opportunity to try to have a shot heading into Kansas next week. Wimbish will need at least 1 race winning performance, maybe 2. We'll see how the points shake out. At the end of tonight's California Dreamin' 200, but for the moment, on the outside, looking in, the 56 looks for the top 10. New race leader at the front of the field, Tommy Haynes, going to work his Toyota Tundra to the front and take over that top spot. We've seen John McMillan Jr. make a pass on that 24 of David Duran Jr. as well. Looks like, I don't want to call it the dive bomb, but it looks like long is the way to go to try to make some passes. A lot of trucks at the top of the racetrack. You got to run where they ain't. You gotta be confident. So we jump on board for a moment with that real tree number 2 of Carter Casey, looking to the outside of Jerry Cochran. And there you can see just what that low line can do. Almost even with that 72 Grayson J Photography, the Chevy Silverado, and there's the high side paying off out of turns 3 and 4, but in 1 and 2, the low line seems to be this line at the moment. Meanwhile, front of the field remains the same, but for how long? John McMillan Jr. looking to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for his first win this season behind the wheel of one of these Performance Motorsports trucks. 99 of Jared Lipstruer, he's in search of his first win as well. Only David Duran Jr. inside of the top 5. Previous race winner club. We'll see if he's able to keep it up there, if he's able to get back to the point. Continue to lead last week. Racing Paints Pole Award winner since in 3rd. 2 and 3 wide racing at the front. David Duran gonna take that top spot back, but a little bit sketchy as the tail end of that 24 was wiggling his way through 3 and 4. Todd Crane will take a position inside of your top 3 for the first time, hanging it high, wide, and handsome. But Tommy Haynes continues to hold down that second position. Todd Crane looking to the outside. Whoa, and down to the bottom, the Busch Light Peach number 17 machine looks for that top spot once again, and he's going to grab it through 3 and 4. Side by side across the line, they're going to credit David Duran Jr. when leading that lap, but Will McMillan Jr. work his way to the front. Darren Clement going to drop 1 spot from 4th back to 5th. Now the 32 machine struggling just a little bit back in the dirty air. You know, that's where you're going to find out if you've got a good truck. Right, you can be in the front with all that clean air, keeping all of the downforce on the front end of these trucks. That's when you feel the most confident. That's when you feel you have the most grip. You get back 2, 3, 4 trucks in line, and you're dealing with a you got the air making your truck a little bit tighter. On corner exits, you got to make it a little bit looser on corner entry just because of the lack of downforce. And with it already the rear of the trunk, that seems a little tail happy. That dirty air can definitely compound your problems, exaggerate the conditions of the racetrack. Watch now. As Tommy Haynes losing a little bit of positions. There's Dalton Fredericks. He's on 8 spots from where he qualified, knocking on the door. The top 5 behind the wheel of this All-Star 15 TV. Fast Ford F-150, and that's kind of an odd one to say, right? Fast Ford. You don't hear her say that, Austin. No, just jokes. Just kidding. Kind of. Front of the field starting to separate themselves, but ever so slightly. Your top 3, 4 drivers are looking to bring a little bit of separation. Jared Lipscomb struggling to keep on the tail end of that 32 machine of Darren Clement. Lipster going to sit in 5th with Jerry Cochran 3rd and Dalton Fredericks right in tow. Jumping around the racetrack just a bit, looking for those passes for position, and here it is, battle for the top spot. David Duran Jr. will lead the lap, but John Jr. That is Delta Canada 15 Chevy Silverado looks to lead the race for the first time here tonight from Auto Club Speedway. You're watching 200. So we had a quick caution here on lap number 1. We have been clean and green ever. So, oh boy, big moment there for Dalton Fredericks. Tail end of that truck. I can't even say that was a little bit out of shape. Almost lost that thing. Somehow able to keep his foot in it and drive out of the trouble. To the inside now is the 72-inch third, 6th. Tommy Haynes dropping to the rear of the field after a hot, heavily contested battle for that top spot. Haynes picked up a handful of positions for that restart, but has since fallen outside of your top 10. Haynes going to run in 11th. Todd Craig going to try his hand on the racetrack heading into turn one this time around. Will we see that slide job out of turn number two? He's not going to clear it. We'll go side by side. 2 minutes for your top four. We'll have the race behind us this time by as we begin lap number 22. Your top 10 looking quite a bit different here. Harrison Mitchell able to crack and work his way inside of the top 10. Todd Craig moving up from ninth, now running in third. Nine positions. Harrison Mitchell, Carter Casey all work their way inside of the top 10. Large 33 truck field here tonight. So a lot of points out there. A lot of points on the line for those drivers that we discussed coming into tonight's race. We're going to keep our eye on Jared Lipster, Daniel Krim, Brian Hitz, Gary Wells, Stephen Ayers Jr., Shane Brooks. Those are the drivers with the most feasible mathematical scenarios to either stay inside of the top 16 or work their way inside of the top 16 by the end of tonight's race. Only one more regular season race coming at you next week from Kansas Speedway. It's going to be another doubleheader at the track next week. Tune in for that. We've got green flag pit stops underway. Green flag pit stops underway with a mass exodus from the track to pit road. More than half of your field comes down for a green flag pit stop. That's going to hand over the race lead easily to the man behind the wheel of this 15 truck. John McMillan Jr. going to show the way off of turn 2. Durant Jr., Clement Lipster, Craig Cochran, Hayes, Mitchell, Collier, May, McGregor, Ayers, Hitz, Lipster, Ben Miller, all to pit road. And looks like he's being waved to pit road, and there you can see a little bit of flame out of the right side of that truck. Onto pit road this time around. John McMillan Jr. brings the second group to pit lane. That's going to leave us with a handful of trucks still remaining out on track, looking through the timing and scoring, and it looks like nobody popped by those pit road points just yet. So excellent job for those drivers that came to pit road already. This is where it's going to get dangerous. Much older tires with much fresher tires trying to get up to speed. Down to pit road this time around. Bailey Dutton leads Gary Wells, Willie Nelson to pit road. Casey Duncan and Lee Campbell, they're going to stretch the fuel, and they're going to stay out on the racetrack. As you can see, your first group of drivers still making their way back to where they began. There are the green flag pit stops from. Dalton Fredericks leads David Duran Jr., John McMillan Jr., and Jared Lipster. And back live trackside as we continue the long green flag run after initial trouble and problems on lap number 1. John McMillan Jr. sitting top of the charts for the moment. David Duran right behind him. How about that 17 of Tommy Haynes? Trouble onto pit road. Long stop for Tommy Haynes, and he's going to be listed off of the lead lap. So a mighty different race in store for that Busch Light Peach Toyota Tundra of Haynes. Gonna have to make up a bit of time. Let's drop that timing and scoring back over to the left-hand side of your screen. You can see right there, Dalton Fredericks with issues as well. Fredericks listed 1 lap down. Tommy Haynes fighting for his life to stay only 1 lap down. Jarrett Lipster a big gain. Well, the green flag pit cycle. John Wimbish, how about the great run by Wimbish to the tie, 56. Chevy Silverado gonna now take a spot inside of the top 5, and right as we say that, going to the bottom of the racetrack, behind the wheel of that Peak Racing number 58 machine, Harrison Mitchell gonna take the 4th spot away from Wimbish. Carter Casey back in 6th. Right around a third of the way through tonight's race already. 1 green flag pit stop behind us. We've seen drivers stretch the fuel to about that 25 green flag pit stops began 23 laps into tonight's race, but that is with a little bit of help to stretch it with an early caution. So we may still see fuel strategy come into play. Maybe a little bit too early to worry about that, but we're always wearing the crew chief hat here up in the production booth. We're going to jump around the track just a little bit. Let's watch these battles just inside of your top 20. Willie Nelson, Hunter Collier, Nader Lawski, and L.C. Daly all going at it for positions on the track. Daly rounding out your top 20. Biggest mover of the race so far here tonight, the man behind the wheel of this 96 machine. He's got Gary May right behind him. Cody Lipster up 18 positions from where he qualified outside of your top 30. And he is now running in 13th. That is a ton of points gained throughout tonight's race. And fortunately enough, we're going to take a look at these guys that are off the lead lap. We're going to look at Dalton Fredericks for a moment. Coming into tonight's race, Fredericks sitting in the overall points lead, the regular season points lead. Had a 15-point advantage coming into tonight's race. If things end now, he is going to lose that top spot, but remain locked in to that championship 16 with an opportunity to run for the season hardware. Tommy Haynes, he's one of those drivers that have had some solid finishes, just hasn't quite had that consistency. He needs a handful of good finishes. And when I say handful, I mean tonight and next Monday night at Kansas Speedway for an opportunity to race for the season championship. Tommy in desperate need of some help. A little bit of connection issues for a handful of drivers out there tonight. You can see the now you see them, now you don't moments there. I believe that's going to be the 21 of Todd Gray sitting in 11. Looking to the bottom, to the inside of John Wimbish. Jerry Cochran Jr. going to work his way through the open door on the bottom as well. Willie Nelson getting by Darren Clement. Clement going to repass him, and Nelson says not so fast. He's going to take that 16th position back for the time being. So it looks like we've got some drivers with some trouble onto pit road early here for their second stop of the night. The number 6 Ford F-150 of L.C. Daly to pit road. Nate Orlowski going to follow him down the pit road to 29, bring his Ford to pit lane. Just a short 10 laps, I say a short 10 laps, but that's over 20 miles of racing before we reach that halfway point. No rear clear-cut advantage for any of the drivers throughout this field. Green flag pit stop separating your top 4 for the moment. John McMillan Jr. enjoys an almost 1 second advantage over your heirs. iRacing Paints Pole Award winner David Durant Jr. sitting in second. Second and a half advantage for Durant back to Jared Limster, who's got about a second cushion over Harrison Mitchell. Battle for Mitchell on back. Carter Casey right there. Brian Wasserman looking to take that 5th position at 57. Up 16 spots here tonight. So he's yet another one of those drivers that needs to have one heck of a finish. Wasserman outside of your top 20. Coming into tonight's race in the point standings, he's going to need a race win. And he's going to need, I believe, a win next week as well. We'll see if he can get the job done. We'll see if he makes it happen here tonight from Auto Club Speedway. You're watching the California Dream 200. I tell you what, while we've got some time, while we've got the opportunity, we're going to step back for a moment. We haven't done this in a handful of weeks, but what do you say we mute the mics and turn it up? We love to bring you the sights and sounds up close and personal with all the action here trackside from Auto Club Speedway. You're watching the California Dreamin' 200, brought to you by the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Handful of drivers back to pit road once again. Darren Clement, Hunter Collier making their second stop of the night. You can see more front runners coming to pit lane. David Durant Jr., Harrison Mitchell, John Wimbish making his way track behind him on that tied number 56 machine. Top 16 stay out on track. Win the second stop of the night. John McMillan Jr. out front now enjoys almost a 4.5 second advantage over the man under fire from Carter Casey, looking to the top side of the racetrack. Lost him in the pit road to the pit lane as well. Jerry Cochran and Todd McGregor. In trouble for the 72. Jerry Cochran gonna lock up the rear tires and go for a spin. A little bit of contact with that front end. Racing Jet Photography. Chevy Silverado. Some of your front runners to pit lane. Carter Casey, for the first time here tonight, will lead the California Dreamin' 200. We are now officially knocking on the door of that half with Casey and Hunt coming to pit road. That's going to hand over the race lead to Willie Nelson. Going to stay out on track to 25. Second. Gary Wells back in third with Lee Campbell staying out on the track. Sitting in fourth. Four drivers to finish our second round of green flag pit stops. And if you joined us early here tonight, race fans, you heard me speak about Auto Club being one of these tracks that lends itself to long green flag pits. Green light for a moment with your race leader on the bottom. He's going to head to pit lane. Willie Nelson going to follow suit. He's going to head off the track down the pit road. Gary Wells going to join these drivers. That should all but finish it. For this round of green flag pit stops, Lee Campbell going to push the envelope and stay out for one lap. David Duran Jr., John McMillan Jr. going at it for the top spot. They've got himself a 3.5 second advantage over Harrison Mitchell. You're watching the battle for the Mitchell race lead. Into the wall, into the outside wall. Little bit of contact for that 15. That's going to slow his roll for just a moment. John McMillan is going to have to settle for second. So as we were saying, right around the corner from that halfway point here tonight, begin the rundown of your driver highlights and spotlights. Let's jump right into it. On the field, battling for that top spot, bottom of the racetrack, looking for the race lead once again, and he's going to grab it off of turn 4. John McMillan Jr. goes back to the point. Your Ayers iRacing Paints Award winner, David Duran Jr. He's led a handful of laps. Will Duran Jr. see victory lane for the second time this season. We'll find out in just another 50 laps. David Duran sits in second. A little further behind, under fire, Harrison Mitchell behind that 58. Racing. Chevy Silverado Mitchell up 8 positions from where he qualified here tonight, having a good solid night. Mitchell sits in third. Jarrett Lipster right behind him. Lipster starting in second. Outside third. He's dropped 2 spots overall here tonight, but some good pace behind the wheel. That 99 as Lipster rounds out. Top 4 with John Wimbish. And that 56 Tide machine. We've talked about him a handful of moments here tonight. He is one of those drivers that needs a race win, if not 2, to link his way inside of that championship 16. Wimbish for the moment. 8 sits in 5th. Your driver highlights. Back here, your spotlight. Now on. These two drivers. Going nose to tail. 14 and 15 on the racetrack. Both of these drivers up 16 positions from where they qualified. They are making some headway through this field. We'll see if they continue to capitalize on this long green flag run right here from Auto Club Speedway. That's going to put an end to your driver highlights and spotlights. Let's get to your mid-race report. Your race will run down the starting grid. We have still got 33 trucks out on the track, but a little less on the lead lap. Ben Miller in the 45 truck, sitting in the 24 position. He's going to be listed as the final driver on the lead lap. With not a whole lot of room. Not a whole lot of time to spare. Let's go to the battle inside of your top 5. Let's go back here. 6th on the racetrack. Throw a blanket over him. You can see him side by side racing on that final podium position. The 99 Rowdy Energy Chevrolet trying to make his way around Harrison Mitchell. Stuck on the high side. Look for that high side to prevail this time through 3 and 4. So race fans out there watching, whether you're joining us over there on the Facebook side of things or the home for all the adrenaline action right here on YouTube. You're watching the Turn 3 Racing Network's Monday Night Performance Motorsports Truck Series. And again, just another one of these long green flag runs, right? We've seen a little bit of trouble at Talladega. We've seen a little bit of trouble at some of the short tracks, but these drivers definitely putting their skills on display at this 2-mile Auto Club Speedway that is currently under renovation. Gonna have a much different layout coming at you here in the future. We're gonna keep our eyes on those updates for the new updates on the track. We'll see how the racing goes. I'm gonna throw it out there. We're a little bit off subject with this one, but Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of those prime examples of should have left well enough alone. In this is not the opinion of anybody else on the Turn 3 network or anybody back at the headquarters in the top offices. It seems this is simply a Dave opinion. You can take it when it's disagree, but it's still going to be my opinion. Sometimes things are just better left alone. That repaint, the reconfiguration at Atlanta Motor Speedway, adding the much more steeper banking. Yes, increase the speeds at Atlanta as we got a driver into the outside wall. I believe that's going to be 57 into the outside wall. Contact with that 51. I apologize. That's going to be the 51. John McClellan Sr. A little bit of contact with that outside wall. But back as we were saying, sometimes the replays and reconfigurations aren't necessarily what produces great racing. I personally believe the Atlanta Motor Speedway was one of those races that it was a driver's track. A lot of characteristic, very gritty track. Made up the tires. You had to be very cognizant of how you were using and abusing the good years. Not so much after repave, a little bit more like super speedway racing out of Atlanta. So we'll see what's in store for Auto Club Speedway. Drivers at the track once again. outside wall during our final segment there of green flag pit stops. That has called the 32 of Darren Clement out. Back behind the wall. Nader Lofsky right now running in 13th position, listed over 10 laps down. Orlovsky will look for the one spot here tonight. Todd McGregor in the 71. Also, multiple issues here. McGregor listed off the lead lap. 3 laps down for the moment. Tommy Haynes fighting for everything it's worth, as it looks like our third round of green flag pit stops has begun to get underway. Logan Hartman and C. Daly to pit road. We're watching this a little bit of a hornet's nest we've got going on here. You see the 57 of Brian Wasserman following behind the 58 of Harrison Mitchell. Carter Casey right here. Nick Hunt, Jared Lipstone, John Linders looking to close in on this pack of trucks that are just continuing to go at it lap after lap. The top two have separated themselves. John McMillan Jr. really flexing his muscles back in of this long green flag stint. John McMillan Jr. going to 6. Almost 2 seconds out from. That is your biggest advantage so far here tonight. Besides in the mix of those green flag pit cycles. McMillan Jr. putting things up here at Auto Club. So who's doing what? Where your driver's at? Let's give you a bit of a rundown here tonight. Up 20 positions from where he qualified from 30th. Now running into about a job. By the wheel of this 25 truck. Done here tonight. Willie Nelson. Looking to somehow fight, scratch, claw his way to a top 16 position. Let's take a look on board. Do we got that, guys? Can we oh, well, we're gonna go with this on board camera. Looks like Willie Nelson carrying out over the shoulder GoPro camera here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. You're watching the California Dreamin' 200. The Corn Hub. 29 Ford F-150 remain over loss. Heads to the high side of the racetrack. He's going to move out of the way of the man making some headway on the bottom of the racetrack. Willie Nelson going to pick up yet another position as Wimbish to pit road. Hunter Collier, Gary May, and Larry Poley head to service their trucks. Let's jump back outside of the race car and back around the track. Continue to watch for some of these highly contested positions. Bailey Dutton, Harrison Mitchell, Brian Wasserman, Carter Casey, and Nick Hunt all going at it. Close moment there for Carter Casey. The two trying to get to the top side of the racetrack. Yeah, you can see him right there. Festive holiday spirit with the bats. Can we call him the Batman? You know what, Carter? You've just become the Batman. Whether you like it or not, you're the Batman. Just saying, will we have a Superman machine next week? How cool would that be? Some of these drivers and crews and teams here is talking about the man, Carter Casey. Try to one-up him. Maybe do the league some justice. No? Okay, we'll stop. green flag pit stops get a little hot and heavy here as John McMillan Jr. going to bring the field down. David Duran, Bailey Dutton, Harrison Mitchell, Jarrett Lipster, and Mike Lawman behind the wheel of his ChevyAccessories.com Silverado Lawman to the pit road. So as we begin to eyeball 30 laps remaining in tonight's California Dreaming 200, want to take this moment and during the green flag pit stop to recognize some of the sponsors here this season. Want to give a big shout out to all of the admins, officials, race control, admins here with Swift Motorsports, the guys behind the scenes that make things tick and make things happen. Great job here with Swift Motorsports. If you're looking for a league to run, if you're new to iRacing or you've been around a while, you want to get on the track and rub elbows with some of the best in the business, head on over to the league directories and check out Swift Motorsports. I want to give a big shout out to our pole sponsor this season. Once again, joining forces with Swift Racing Paints. If you're in the market for a new livery, whether it be on your truck, your driver's helmet, driver suit, your cruise down on pit road, you need to get spiced up a little bit, you can head on over to Ayers Racing Paints. Some of the best beef jerky you can find in America. Head on over to beefjerkyunlimited.com. Type in TURN 5 for your 15% discount code. Want to give a big shout out to Tommy D and everybody working hard there at the Michigan plant and factory, producing some of the best jerky you can find. It doesn't matter if you don't want beef jerky, they've got it all. Chicken jerky, turkey jerky, as well as pork jerky. Some of the, I'm telling you, some of the absolute best beef jerky I've ever had. The nitro methane, whew, it's hot. The firecracker, absolutely scrumptious. That's right, I said scrumptious. It's got a little bit of heat, not too bad. The Hawaiian pineapple if you're in for something sweet, but the mango Nero. That's right, the mango Nero. Pork jerky, mango habanero pork jerky. You're missing out on something special right there. Head on over to beefjerkyunlimited.com. Caution! Caution flag will fly, and this is really going to shake things up. Caution flag will fly halfway through this green flag pit cycle, our third one of the evening, and we've got trouble now. We're going to take a look around and look to see if we've got a thumbs up on it. Looks like we're getting one, so let's head to your replay. There it is, catching it a little bit after the fact. Jerry Cochran going to be involved in that. Grayson Jade Photography 72. We've seen Cochran have some earlier trouble. Oh, there it is. Something going awry, something amiss with that 72. We're going to catch it a little bit late. Let's see if we can't watch it again. There you can see the front clip already ripped off of that 72 and 69 of Larry Bowling. Nowhere to go. Contact, and that's going to do it. That's going to put us under caution once again here from Auto Club Speedway. And I think that's going to catch a handful of these guys. It's going to catch a handful of them off of the lead lap. The drivers that just came to pit road, they're going to need to stay out, get themselves a wave around, get back into position here. Fortunately enough, Olsen out front showing the way behind the wheel of that 24 machine. David Duran Jr. going to take back the top spot. Bailey Dunn right behind him, but John McMillan filling in third. So as we find ourselves back behind the pace car, our good buddy Joshua Norwood back out there pacing the field for us. We're going to step away from just a brief commercial break, get some of our final bills paid. You know, sponsors love when they get their airtime, so let's head to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live from Auto Club Speedway. You're watching the California Dreamin' 200. Track slide just after the restart. David Duran Jr. out to an jump on Bailey Dutton, who slides into second. Jared back in third. Harrison Mitchell right there in fourth. And the dominant truck in the field here tonight slides back to fifth. It's been the furthest back in the running has been. Besides when he's come to pit road, Junior has the fight to try to get to victory lane. Auto Club Speedway this season, and it's a funny thing that we're talking about him being this far into the season without a race win. Let's talk about those other big names. Hunter Collier securely into the top 16. Sitting in second in the overall point standings coming into tonight's race. He's searching for that as well. Will it come tonight, or will it be pushed off to the postseason? What about the man? You see him back there leaving, looking for a lane. Behind him, the rich GPC powered by 21 machine. Todd Gray trying to Silverado to Casey with a big hit. Casey with a big hit on the right side of the trunk on the wall. Todd Gray still searching for that first victory. Who would have thought it would be this late in the season without Corey? A handful of laps after the restart, we're going to drop that timing scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen and just to the field. This time by. Heavy battle. Let's stay right here. Let's stay at the front if we can, guys. Let's continue to watch the battle raging on. Second, third, fourth, fifth. All right here to throw a blanket over them. Only 0.2 of a second separate Lipscher from John McMillan Jr. running in that fifth spot. Bailey Dutton now under fire with Harrison Mitchell looking to his inside. And somehow Carter Casey, he's been able to keep that 2 truck at the front of the field. The contact with the outside wall has not seemed to put a damper on his day as far as it sits. Carter Casey sitting at 6th. Drivers to pit road right around lap number 66, so they will not have enough fuel to get to the end. We will see at least one more trip down the pit road. The question is, will it be under conditions? A lot of small little battles going on out there on the track. Bailey Dutton working his way around John McMillan Jr. McMillan Jr. going to fight back to the inside as Lipscher for 13. As we inch closer to 20 laps to go, only 40 miles of racing remaining in tonight's California Dreaming 200. We want to continue to give those shout-outs to all of the channel series sponsors that make things happen behind the scenes for us to be able to bring you these great races week in and week out. Monday and Tuesday night, right here in the Turkey. Swift Motorsports. Big shout out to Earnhardt Chevrolet located in Newton, North Carolina. The original Intimidator spot. They've got great deals on new and used, slightly pre-owned Chevys all across the lot. If you're looking for something to get you back on the driver's seat, looking fresh and so clean, look to Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet in Newton, North Carolina. Or if you can't make it to the lot, we've got some great deals online, as well as the original Intimidator gear over there in the souvenir shop. Don't forget to stop by. Tell them I sent you. I don't think it's going to get you any type of discounts. I don't think it's going to get you any kind of deals. It's just cool for Tommy and the boys to know that, hey, you came over just to check things out. You heard about them on the broadcast, and you just want to check out a few things. I'm sure our good friend Brian Musco Jr. would also appreciate that. You can check those guys out at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. Also want to give a huge shout out to the best American bully breeders in western North Carolina and across the South. Mountain Mafia Kennels in County, North Carolina. Family just full of great breeders. The entire family, I know them on a personal level. Absolutely great group of people. They produce some of the best American bullies that you're ever going to find. If you're in the market for a new pup and you're looking for a beast, they've got them, I can assure you that. Look for Mountain Mafia Kennels. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. Once again, it's Mountain Mafia Kennels. 3 wide racing. Third. For the moment, Jared Lipscrew second job right there fighting for The third position with Brian Wasserman and Harrison Mitchell. Mitchell on the outside of that 58 Chevy Silverado as the Mexican fail at 57. That's close. Wasserman close racing there with Lipster will continue. We talked about one more round of green flag pit stops, and you got it. Bailey Dutton already to pit road. Hunter Collier to pit road this time around. Paul Fredericks, Ben Miller, Jerry Cochran Jr. all making their fourth in what could be their final stop of the night. How long will your race leader stay out there? David Rand Jr. leading by just a half a second. A lot of hungry drivers looking for their first win inside of the top 10. Only two previous race winners in their top 10. Your race leader, David Rand, and the man running in third, fighting for that second, third place position for the moment. Outside lane, the 50th looking to grab one more spot here as we cross the line. This time around with just 50 minutes to go. Todd Gray and John Windish back to pit road for the final time. Last time by both drivers getting up to speed, working their way out onto the apron. Carter Casey going to easily leapfrog both of those drivers. This time by Todd Gray. Looking to somehow use the speed. On the wheel of that 21 machine, he's looking to try to stay on the lead lap, but a hungry swarm of drivers closing in. Front of the field, there's been a changing of the guard. Brian Wasserman will take over that top spot, eyeballing pit road this time around. He's going to bring David Duran Jr. with him on the binders, and it looks like both trucks were able to get slowed down in time. Harrison Mitchell will become your new race leader here from Auto Club. So it's not a full-fledged fuel strategy race, but we do have some fuel strategy going on. Looks like a two-tire, one-can of fuel stop for the two of Carter Casey. Casey out in front of Bailey Dutton. First driver with 4 fresh tires in the field. Dutton going to sit in 15th, but as we've got a mass exodus to pit road this time around, he's going to make his way through the field. Willie Nelson back in control of the race behind the wheel of his 25 Chevy Silverado. Wilson needed a racing performance. He's going to need some help from the late race caution here to try to keep himself inside of your top 5. Lee Campbell and Daniel Krim round out your top 3. Some great onboard camera shots with a handful of drivers throughout the field. As Nelson comes to pit road, Lee Campbell will take over the race lead for the first time here tonight behind the wheel of that 14 Toyota Tundra. Sitting in the middle of the racetrack, there's David Rand Jr. making his way by, getting himself back onto the lead lap. But the biggest thing I'm noticing right here, Archie Collins came to pit road. On the wheel of that 38 truck, back on lap number 83. Handful of laps after both Carter Casey as well as Bailey Dutton. And both Casey and Dutton well in front. So as Lee Campbell continues to stretch this final green flag run, maybe hoping, praying for a late race caution, we're going to watch this man right here. Can he be the first driver to do it this season and go back-to-back visits the victory lane? He's already become the first driver with multiple race wins. We've had 11 winners in 8 races so far this season, and Carter Casey looks to pick up win number 3 with a little bit of strategy here tonight. Will the tires hold on? We're going to have to watch. Big battle for second to third, though. Todd Craig all over the rear deck lid. Our own Bailey Dutton for the time being. Will Craig get the job done? Or will the field from behind run these drivers down that came to pit road on that short pit strategy? And almost a 4-lap advantage for race leader Lee Cameron. We say that, and then the 14 gonna duck down pit road, and that advantage is gonna dissipate in quite a bit of a hurry. Carter Casey, Bailey Dutton, Todd Craig will become your race leader. Battle on track will be between Dutton and Craig, second and third when they cross the line. So as the green flag pit cycle finishes itself out, Carter Casey takes over the race lead, but that advantage is slowly dwindling. Almost a 4-second advantage for a moment for Casey was dropped to 3. Now under 2.5 seconds are your second to third place drivers working with one another to try to run down race leader. We've got 8 laps to go, 16 miles of racing here from Auto Club Speedway for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. And before this round of green flag pit stops, we talked about how there was only 2 drivers inside your top 10 that had been to victory lane. That demographic's gonna change. We're gonna double that in just a handful of laps. 4 drivers now inside of the top 10 that have been to victory lane. 3 out of your top 4 are previous race winners, and as we've already mentioned, Casey looking to undone, and we're gonna come undone at the end here. Oh boy, big trouble. At the end of tonight's race, a handful of drivers needed a little bit of help. This man gonna be one of them. Unfortunately, he's not gonna have the help he needs. Caution flag will fly here on lap number 93. We'll go back green flag racing with less than 5 to go. But first, let's go check the replay. Oh, up across the track and across one driver to the 29, Orlovsky. Let's take one more look at the guys. Do we got a better? And there it is, a little bit of hook up the racetrack. Looked like a 3-4 wide situation for a moment, and it did not work out for John Wimbish. We're going to take one more look at it here. Let's see if we can go above and take a look at it. Coming down the racetrack just a little bit. Looking for the race number there. I believe that may have been the 47 of Daniel Krim. We're going to take one more look at it. That is a tough hit. So contact late in the race brings us under caution for the 3rd time here tonight. Our good buddy Joshua Norwood, he hasn't been too busy down there. He jumped right in the car, got right out there on the track just as quickly as possible. But what's it do for these drivers, these front runners? Will they come to pit road? I would say no. I want the track position. We did see 6-7 positions gained in that opening lap. But with everything now on the line. I think those positions are going to be a little bit more contested. I think drivers are going to be less likely to roll over and let the pass happen. The beginning of the race, quite a bit different, knowing that you've got such a long way to go, right? You're able to, you know what, I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to deal with it right now. I think we've got a great truck. I think we have a long run, a good handling machine. So we're going to let this guy by, and we're going to track him down through this long run. That's out the window. There will be no long run. This is going to be a shootout to the end of tonight's California Dreamin' 200. Carter Casey grabbing the top spot. Will be in control of the restart, but he's got seasoned, wily, skilled veterans behind him. He's got drivers hungry for their first victory this season. Will he be able to do it? Which lane will he pick? And coming across the line this time around, I believe we'll see that one finger wave, and indeed, pace car lights go off. Norwood ready to drop the pace car to pit road this next time by. Carter Casey gonna take the high side. Bailey Dutton will start inside of row number 1. Brand Jr. Todd Gray make up row 2. Brian Wasserman and Hunter Collier back in row number 3 for this restart. Willie Nelson and John McMillan Jr. back in row 4. Harrison Mitchell, Jared Lipstrom round out your top 10. So barring another caution flag, it's going to be a 3-lap shootout. 6 miles of go get it. Because ain't nobody going to give it to you at this point in time. It's all about take. And I don't care what you give me, because I'm probably going to take a little bit more than what I need just for good measure. We'll see what the runs look like. We'll see what these corner entries look like. That's when you can really put a driver in a precarious situation. We'll see who's willing to risk it all. The California Dream 200 off of turn 4. Pace car will duck away, and we will get set to go back underway once again into the restart zone, and on the gas, green flag flies as Casey leads them to the line. Dropping down early, Casey gonna cover up that inside. Bailey, that's just what Bailey wanted. He's gonna look to the middle of the racetrack through 1 and 2 top, right to the bottom. Great to the bottom with pole sitter Durant Jr. Racing down the backstretch. Side by side for your top 4, looking to the middle is the 38 of Collier. Double final, 3 rows deep out of 4. Ooh, fanning out big lanes here on the front stretch. 2, 3, 4 wide heading into 1. 4 wide as they enter turn 1. I'm not sure it's going to work. It'll get a contact right at the tail end of that 34. Now, my goodness, things definitely heating up late the going here at Auto Club. Down to the bottom now. Willie pulled a slide job. He tries it. Not going to clear it. He's going to get bumped to the top side and into the outside wall. Bailey going to fall through the field. Out front. Oh, in trouble. Trouble as the white flag flies. We're going to finish this one as trouble ensues. That's going to take 2 heavy hitters Aldo, this one barely let her ball cross her line. He had a chance for it, but Willie Nelson looking to shine. Ooh, my vote is for that 25. Why? Because that's my number. I'm just saying. Let's get it here. Harrison Mitchell to beat Performance Racing. Chevy Silverado down at the bottom of the racetrack. Close racing door, beating and banging off the field. Back across the stripe, trouble ensues behind, and will he get it across the line? And Willie Nelson crosses the line first. The checkered flag. We'd seen trouble behind it. David Durant, Carter Casey, John McMillan Jr. all with trouble, but as the fireworks go off in the background, getting the job done. For the first time, you can see just how happy he is. Behind the wheel, easy, don't put it into the outside wall, really. My goodness. Give this man some credit. Give this driver some props. 29 positions gained time. My goodness. What a run for Willie. I mean, just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal job. And we're going to get a little closer here if we can. And it looks like maybe some of the audio damaged right around that start-finish line, as Willie Nelson having one heck of a time burning it down with his post-race celebrations. Job well done. We're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment. Get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside here from Auto Club Speedway at the end of tonight's California Dreamin' 200. Man, what a finish. What a race. Long green flag runs here tonight. Only 3 cautions throughout tonight's race. And I don't want to call it calamity and chaos, but, well, you got to call a duck when you see a duck, and that was definitely some carnage and chaos coming to the white flag and coming to the checkered flag as well. But a phenomenal job overall by all the drivers in the field. So, what do you say we kick things off with our post race interviews? Let's go ahead and see if we can grab a word or two with the man that rounds out the podium here tonight. Started inside of your top 5. He's going to finish inside of the top 3 behind the wheel of that 99 machine. Jared, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, a heck of a race, a heck of a finish there. You dropped 1 spot from where you qualified, so you can't be too upset about the performance of the truck. How was it out there tonight? And do you think you possibly could have done anything different to maybe pick up those last 2 spots?
Uh, Not really. I was pretty well third to fifth truck all night. I was just trying to hold my position at the end, and I the tires were key tonight. And it was when you took them, and if you had them, you were top. If you didn't have them, you dropped.
Well, I wanna mention something that's gotta be maybe on, well, should be, I think, and I could be wrong, at the forefront of your mind and the crew's mind and the team's mind. You came into tonight's race just 6 points ahead of that cutoff line for the championship 16, with a good finish here tonight. That's definitely gonna lift your spot in the point standings. How comfortable are you feeling heading into next week's race, the last week of the regular season? How comfortable are you feeling with your opportunities to stay inside of that top 16 and give that championship a run for its money?
Well, all I'm going to try to do next week is finish. I'm just going to try to finish in the top 10 try, and that's all I can do. Is really all I have to do is worry about the people that are behind me in points, and I'm not even really worried about them. I'm just going out here and going to race. That's what I did tonight, and I wasn't worried about anybody else besides myself.
Well, sometimes having that stuff kind of out of sight, out of mind, or not in your thoughts at all tends to be a good thing. You don't start worrying about, should I make the move, should I not make the move. So it worked out here tonight. We'll see how the strategy works for you next week at Kansas. But again, congratulations on your great podium finish here tonight from Auto Club. Before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, my parents, my brother, Willie. He's one of my teammates. I know him in real life. We work together. He's amazing. Give him all the love. He really deserved this win tonight. He's amazing.
All right, well, Jared, if that's going to be it, we're going to wait to see if we can't talk to you at the end of next week's race and throughout that championship run. But until then, my friend, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. A happy, content, clear conscience of Jared Lipstra. You heard him say it, race fans. Uh, Points not really at the forefront of his mind. He's just going to go out there and get the best finish that he can under any type of circumstances, and he's going to parlay his way into a podium finish here tonight. He's going to walk away third, and that's going to move us right along the running order to driver that we've had the opportunities to talk to earlier this season. We're going to see if we can't talk to him once again. Not in victory lane this time, but still up 9 positions from where he qualified to finish in second in a drag race to the line. Harry, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, we know you'd be feeling better if you grab that top spot. Let's be honest, but I mean, up 9 positions, you're already. I believe we're gonna look at this finish right here. This should lock you into that top 16. So, how you feeling about your championship hopes?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. It feels really good just to get top five over the last couple of weeks I've had. Haven't been so good, and it just feels great to finally like be able to power back and get what I needed to get.
Well, you talked about the last handful of weeks, not maybe finishing the races where you probably should have finished, right? But coming to the end of tonight's race, less than 10 to go, we see a caution. What runs through your mind?
I mean, I'm thinking that I probably don't have a chance to win, but I have probably a chance to get like top five maybe. But when we win, I guess I just had the run. I guess I don't even know what happened. Next thing I knew, I was fighting for the lead like a lap later. So it just caught me by surprise as well. But I'm glad I was able to get through there without having any wrecks.
Well, sometimes it's good to have a horseshoe or a lucky rabbit's foot along with you. Not sure if you're into that superstition type of things, but if you had anything inside of the cockpit, you might want to carry it with you over the course of these next handful of races. Man, it's been a great season for you. As we said, one victory already this season. A great podium finish here tonight. We're going to finish things off at Kansas next week. So before we let you go and start eyeballing that race, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, I'd like to thank like just Hannah Caller and everyone at Peak for letting me just be able to race, and I feel bad for after tonight. Now that I look at it, I just blew right past him, didn't it? Just and I could have pushed him to the lead or even a win, and I feel bad about that now that I'm looking at it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just how it is sometimes, I guess. But yeah, I would just like to thank him. He's done a lot this season. He's been great supporter, mentor, just great overall teammate.
Well, man, you hear them say it in the real world, especially when it comes to Talladega Superspeedway. Those big plate tracks is everybody has teammates until 5 to go, and sometimes you may not realize it, but sometimes you got to kind of look out for yourself or worry about your own finishes. And I'm sure your teammate would understand it. You were racing for the win at the end of this thing. So, with all that being said, Harrison, congratulations on a great podium finish here tonight. And as always, until next time, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you, Dave. Have a good night.
All right, that's our good buddy Harrison Mitchell. He walks away from the podium here tonight, sitting in second. But how about the man in victory lane? We talked about him doing it, and he's going to get the job done, shocking the Swift world here tonight. 29 positions gained throughout tonight's race to capture his first win. Willie, how good does it feel to finally pick up that checkered flag?
Well, I drove through damn near the entire field to get there, so it feels really damn good. I tell you that much right now. Holy hell. That
Well,
was awesome.
I don't know if we could say damn near. I mean, it was pretty much the whole damn field. I mean, we could probably just erase the near part. I'm not sure if we're going to get in trouble for all the dams, but, you know, Hoover Dam's a great one. But anyways, 29 spots, 33 drivers in the field. I mean, that's the field.
Yeah, I guess so. When you put that into perspective, yeah, I didn't realize there was only 33 drivers. I thought there was a little more. And I was looking at the entries, and I was like, man, there's a lot, but I forgot about the admins and stuff. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, the whole field. How about that?
Well, man, you led a handful of laps throughout tonight's race with the green flag pit cycles and things of that nature. Uh, what were your thoughts? We're less than 10 laps to go. I believe it was 7 laps remaining when we seen that final caution flag fly. What went through your mind behind that wheel?
uh, well, when I looked at the drivers in front of me, and I got some radio communication telling me about the drivers behind me. I was like, damn, I got the freshest tires here. I was like, this is a legitimate shot to win the race. Here I am. I didn't even qualify. I just planned on finishing top 10 just to make it through, just to get to the playoffs. And you know, I'm out here. I'm trying to teach up my teammates a little bit. Cody's been helping me out, and Jared's been helping me out. It's been a while since I've been on iRacing, and been trying to teach Ben how to do some iRacing too. Ben Miller out there, he's pretty new to iRacing, so in the process of teaching him what to do, I kind of picked up a few things myself, and with 10 laps to go, I'm just looking at it like, man, I got the freshest tires. I was like, I got a shot. I may as well be aggressive and see what I can get out of it. And going into one, I thought that 58 was coming across my nose. I thought I was all over right there. Oof. And we went down the backstretch. He come up and we went down into turn 3. He started leaning on me. I was like, my only option is to roll up with him. And if I hit that wall, he's sure as damn well going in it too. So thankfully, he gave me enough room. Appreciate it from Harry. He gave me enough room, and we were able to battle it out and take a close one. That was damn close.
Well, sometimes I'm going to use the two drivers that I've seen do it and try it. One of them pulled it off. You're not allowed to do it anymore, but you pull a video game move, as they like to say in the NASCAR world, a Ross Chastain and a little bit of Kyle Larson action there by just saying, you know what, it is what it is. We're going to ride this thing out, and whatever happens, so be it. You were able to get the job done. Tonight's race win should secure you into that top 16. I don't think you're going to have an opportunity to fall outside with one race to go. So don't hold us to that. We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, so to speak. But how you feeling about next week, and how are you going to approach the race at Kansas?
I think I'm just gonna kind of go in with the same mindset of this weekend. I think if I'm just gonna kind of ride it out and do a little teaching with my teammates here and see if we can't get something going and figure some stuff out and kind of just more focus in on the playoffs since I'm guaranteed locked in. So is Jarrett Lipster is pretty much locked in. Cody and Ben, they aren't necessarily locked in, but they got some things that we can definitely host up some sessions and do some things with them. And yeah, looking forward to next weekend. I think if I get in a position to win, I'm definitely going to try to take it again and see if we can't double up and go back to back.
Well, a hell of a job here tonight. Congratulations on picking up that first win. We'll see if there's any more throughout the course of the rest of this season. But congratulations, finally punching through and getting into that winners column and into victory lane. So before we let you go and finish shaking out that champagne bottle, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out straight off to Don Kidder and all the work he's put in the admin office, as well as Andy. I forgot his last name, but Andy over there. Uh, they're doing a lot of hard work this season, so thank you to them and sticking around and doing all the things that they do. Big shout out to my teammates, Jared Lipster, Cody Lipster, his older brother, and Ben Miller for riding along and taking this ride with me through Swift Motorsports Truck Series, and sponsor shout outs to America's Gunsmith Shop. I got a couple family members that own that place, as well as Walk to End Alzheimer's, Team Memories of Mary. They do a pretty cool event. If you're ever in the Wisconsin area, definitely check it out every year around September. Concrete Developers Incorporated. I got a family member that owns that, as well as Platinum Terrain Excavation. They all help me out in the real world racing, so I just brought them over here to the iRacing world, as well as JK Macco Tools. They're racing family out there that help me out as well. So there's all my shout outs right there, especially the shots I'm about to take here in a minute.
Well, glad you're taking the shots after the race win instead of before the race begins. Could have ended up in a much different situation, but we won't get into all that. Congratulations once again, though, man, on getting into victory lane. I'm ecstatic for you just because I run the 25 in everything I race, whether it's the big block modifieds on the dirts, if it's the street stocks, all the way over even into those open wheel IndyCar machines. So it's always a good time when I get to see a 25 in victory lane. So again, congratulations on the race win here tonight. We'll see how you go next week at Kansas, but until then, stay safe and keep it fast.
Heck yeah, man. Deuce Nickel Pride right there.
Ow!
Oh, I got to give one big shout out to my dad and Brown Sugar Bourbon, because we're going to have a few tonight.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
you have a good one.
All right, well, celebrations scheduled already. Willie Nelson, brown sugar bourbon. Whew, I think I might have to find where this guy's at. I'm just saying. An amazing job. Nelson walks away with his first checkered flag of the season. What an amazing run. What an amazing night. Here from Auto Club Speedway, we've seen long green flag runs followed by a short shootout for the checkered flag here tonight. And that's going to finish things off here from Auto Club. And as producers hit those buttons in the background, you know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down the unofficial race results for tonight's California Dreamin' 200 for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, brought to you by Swift. Willie Nelson gonna park that deuce nickel in victory lane. Harrison Mitchell back in second with Jarrett Lipscher rounding out your podium drivers. John McMillan Jr. sits in fourth. Hunter Collier gonna park the 38 in fifth. Todd Craig gonna slide home in sixth tonight with Cody Lipscher back in seventh. Eighth place behind the 00 is Nick Hunt. He's gonna finish in eighth. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to bring the 62 home to a ninth place run with John McMillan Sr. finishing out your top 10. 11th belongs to Daniel Krim with Gary May back in 12th. 13th tonight to Lee Campbell with John Wimbish bringing the Tide 56 home in 14th. The All-Star 15 TV, number 20 of Dalton Fredericks in 15th. Gary Wells back in 16th. 17th tonight to your pole sitter. Behind the wheel of the 24 machine, David Durant Jr. Logan Hartman back in 18th. 19th tonight from Auto Club Speedway is Bailey Dutton. Brian Wasserman back in 20th. The ChevyAccessories.com, number 9, gonna finish in 21st. 22nd tonight to Ben Miller. Jerry Cochran Jr. back in 23rd with Carter Casey in 24th. 25th to Tommy Haynes. Casey Duncan in 26th. Brian Hitz, Todd Bug Greger, Elsie Daly, Larry Bowling will round out your top 30. Nate Orlovsky back in 31st. Jerry Cochran the 3rd and 32nd. And finishing out the 33 truck field here tonight will be the 32 of Darren Clement. Well, that's going to do it for us. That's going to set things up for your final regular season race at Kansas next week. So as we begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love. Join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell on the right hand side. So for myself, David the Cave, and everybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.